Carlos Alcaraz makes his move official. The Mercian is assembling his team for the upcoming season, taking the coach of another prominent Spanish tennis player. Carlos Alcaraz's tennis season ended on a bittersweet note. The Spaniard bid farewell to the year with Spain's disappointing debut loss in the Davis Cup, which also marked Rafa Nadal's retirement. However, the Mercian has had his best season yet, winning major ATP titles. Despite this, the world number 3 aims to add more titles to his collection and is already preparing for the next season. Following the trend set by other players, such as Novak Djokovic, who surprised many by adding Andy Murray as his coach, Alcaraz is also crafting his staff to enhance his performance on the court. The Mercian has made a surprising move by recruiting a well-known figure in Spanish tennis, taking a gamble at the expense of one of his compatriots from La Armada. Carlos Alcaraz takes a gamble at Pablo Carreño's expense. The decision by Alcaraz impacts Pablo Carreño, as the new addition to Alcaraz's team is Samuel Lopez, Carreño's longtime coach. The former Spanish player will join Juan Carlos Ferrero in managing Alcaraz's training. Samuel Lopez has spent 9 years coaching Carreño, who has faced ups and downs on the court. Carreño has yet to fully recover from an elbow injury sustained almost 2 years ago. In fact, he missed the Davis Cup due to another injury at the Paris Masters 1000. Following the end of this season, Carreño bids farewell to Lopez and will need to find a new coach. Pablo Carreño and Samuel Lopez part ways. With Lopez's departure, the Gijón-born player says goodbye to his coach of 9 years. It's been 9 seasons together, full of challenges we've overcome and unforgettable moments. You've helped shape me into the person and player I am today, and I will always be grateful, expressed Carreño in his farewell message to Lopez. Samuel Lopez also shared his thoughts on the decision to leave Pablo and join Alcaraz's team. It's a professional decision, a change. I will be traveling less, staying more at Ferrero's academy, and assisting Juan Carlos with Carlos Alcaraz, said the former player. He further added, coaching both players wouldn't be ethical, and it's impossible. Pablo will always be my player. This is a decision made with the future, family, and everything else in mind, Lopez concluded. Djokovic gears up to challenge Sinner and Alcaraz in Grand Slams. Novak Djokovic is ready to take on Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz on the Grand Slam stage as he completes his surprise campaign at the Australian Open, the 24-time champion said. After winning 3 of the 4 Grand Slams last year, the 37-year-old Serb experienced a dry spell in 2024, marking his first season without a major title since his injury-plagued 2017 campaign. Sinner dethroned world number 1 Djokovic at Melbourne Park, clinching his first Grand Slam victory. The 23-year-old Italian also defeated the Serb in the Shanghai Masters final in October. Defending US Open champion Sinner added an ATP Finals title to his list of achievements. Djokovic skipped the start of the season due to injury. At the French Open, Djokovic withdrew from the quarterfinals due to a knee injury. 14-time champion Rafa Nadal was eliminated by Alexander Zverev in the first round, paving the way for Spain's Carlos Alcaraz to dominate Roland Garros. The 21-year-old also defended his Wimbledon title. However, Djokovic claimed his first Olympic gold in Paris and defeated Alcaraz 3 weeks later in the Wimbledon final, showcasing his resilience. I feel I can still play at a high level, Djokovic said in an interview with La Gazzetta dello Sport on Saturday. Sinner and Alcaraz have established themselves as the top 2 players in the world, not forgetting Alexander Zverev. All of them will be main contenders for slams and other titles. However, I'm physically and mentally ready to play tennis again, and I feel I can compete with these guys. My experience can be useful. Having dropped to 7th in the ATP rankings, Djokovic admitted that 2024 could be his least successful season in a decade. That's why next year I'll compete in more tournaments, and the Grand Duchy Cup will be my priority. If my body allows it, I'll give it my all to win, he stated. When asked what advice he would give Sinner, Djokovic replied, I think he'll do fine without my advice. But winning the first 2 slams and taking the number 1 spot is one thing, staying at that level for years is another. With Roger Federer, Andy Murray, and Rafael Nadal announcing their retirements, Djokovic is the last of his generation still vying for the crown. Murray, a former Wimbledon and US Open champion, has joined Djokovic's coaching staff as the Serb aims to secure his 11th Australian Open title. The first major tournament of the season begins on January 12.